Chapter 524. Carton shook her head before she smiled and said, "Actually, I am going to the UK after a while. I am going to settle down there, and I am not going to come back to Orris Hill anymore." At this time, Elaine asked in surprise, "How are you planning to settle down in the UK?" Carton nodded slightly before she said, "Didn't I tell you that my son went abroad to study in the UK? He has not returned to the country after leaving for the UK. He is already married there, and my daughter-in-law is also pregnant now. My son does not intend to come back to Orris Hill anymore. Therefore, he wants to bring me over to live with him in the UK so that I can help him to look after his children in the future." One of the women sitting at the mahjong table suddenly blurted out, "Oh, Carton. Are you going to sell all of your houses and properties in Orris Hill then?" Carton replied, "I will just keep one of the smaller condominiums in the urban area. If there is an opportunity in the future, my family can come back to Orris Hill for a short vacation for a few days." Elaine could not help but feel a little sorry and disappointed when she heard Carton's words. She was not sorry that she was going to lose a good friend whom she could chat with and play mahjong with. Instead, Elaine was upset because she felt that she would never be able to find another person like Carton who was rich and bad at playing mahjong, but would never get upset and was always willing to lose money to her. At this time, outside the West Garden Villa, Harold father and Harold mother had just parked their car at the entrance of the villa and were waiting for their real estate agent to arrive. Harold father intended to find a suitable house that would cost them less than $10 million. Therefore, he had contacted a real estate company and had asked for a real estate agent to help him find a villa that cost about $10 million. The average price of the houses in Orris Hill was a little more than $50,000, but a villa was naturally more expensive. It would be basically impossible for anyone to buy a brand new villa for $10 million. Therefore, they could only afford to come and look at this old villa. Harold mother was very dissatisfied as she stared at the entrance of the West Garden Villa. "Harold father, don't you think that this villa complex is a little too old? Just look at the villas here. It looks even older than the old lady's villa. Why don't we look at some other villas in another area instead?" Harold father quickly replied, "There is no way we will be able to afford another villa elsewhere. Moreover, the first-grade houses at Beacon Top are actually pretty good, but you refuse to buy a house there." Harold mother became very annoyed as she replied, "That piece of trash Alex owns a villa at Beacon Top. I do not want to risk running into Trump and Elaine there in the future. I am not going to buy an ordinary residential house or condominium apartment at Beacon Top." Harold father replied, "Therefore, it would be more cost-effective for us to buy this kind of old villa. It has a very large and spacious area, and it will be very comfortable for our entire family to move in. It does not matter if the villa is a little older because we can always renovate it again." After that, Harold father continued speaking, "You have to consider the situation that we're in, Harold mother. Both Harold and Olivia are both single. Each of them will already occupy one bedroom each. Both of us will take one bedroom, and that will already be 3 bedrooms. If Harold gets married in the future, he will definitely continue living with us. When he has a child, we have to make sure that the child has a room too. That is already 4 bedrooms." Harold father continued explaining, "And wouldn't mom come to live with us in the future too? At that time, we will have to make sure that she has a bedroom to herself too. We would need 5 bedrooms in total. Thus, it would be most practical for us to buy a villa." Harold mother asked angrily, "Why must your mother come and live with us? Why doesn't she go and live with Trump instead?" Harold father shrugged as he said, "Since the old lady has already severed all ties with Trump's family, do you think that Trump will allow her to live with them?" Harold mother was very dissatisfied and she continued her argument, "No matter what, the old lady cannot come and live with us. I will not allow it. Anyway, the Richard family is already done for, and we will not reap any further benefits from the old lady any longer. We should just send her to Trump's house. It is none of our business if he allows her to live with him or not." We do not need to care about that old lady anymore. Harold father quickly replied, Harold mother, you might not know about this, but my mother bought a life insurance policy about 20 years ago. It is a financial insurance policy. The insurance payout after her death is at least $8 million. If you drive the old lady out of our house and ask her to live with Trump instead, the $8 million will belong to Trump after she dies. More than $8 million? Harold mother's eyes lit up immediately as she asked in surprise. She bought so much insurance?